G'day folks, welcome to another episode of Bandaged Cube Creations. Well, today's puzzle is the Expert Y Cube. This was presented by Quador along with his Beginner Y Cube, Advanced Y Cube, and I found one the other day, the Siamese Y Cube. Haven't done that one yet, but this one, the Expert Y Cube. So it's got the two pairs up here as per usual, and the Beginner Y Cube just had this piece. The Advanced Y Cube had an extra piece there to make a slice. The Expert Y Cube extends it further, and you might say technically that's a big clock and a clock, except that a clock has another cubie there. So if I had a clock here, part of that clock would be that cubie because it cannot dislodge from this piece. I mean, it can't, it's all together. Now, in the same way, what we find is that if we set it up like this, and absolutely I can make it because here it is staring at you in the face, these two pieces can't separate. And that's why this really should be extended to be a big slice all the way from there. That is how this puzzle is functioning. And I found that interesting because I didn't initially pick it up until I really started playing with it. So you might think, really? Can we really not move it? Well, yeah, really, because how can we do it? How can we get this apart? Because it is always blocked by this thing here. There's nothing, that's just fixed in space. No way we can get any of that done. Now, interestingly, I, in some ways, have found this puzzle easier, would you believe, than the Advanced Y Cube and the Beginner Y Cube. And I think a lot of that is because it has an extra restriction. So there's not as much that you can do. For example, I can't flip edges. I certainly can twist corners, but I can't flip edges because there's no facility to do that. So as I go through, I'm going to start by scrambling. And the easiest way to scramble, I think, is just to get it like this and start turning the faces that you can turn. So what can you turn? Well, this face, obviously. And if I hold it like this, I can always do that, turn the top face, bring it back down, that kind of thing. You might say, is there anything else we can do? Not really. I mean, when I say not really, I mean, I can always start moving these bits all around the place, but not beyond that. I mean, they can sort of go up to the top face, they can just move around on this face, but they can't really do anything else. Now, let's try and flip a piece. Why have I said you can't flip pieces? Well, to flip a piece, I really need 3 movable faces around a corner. And you can see that, yes, I can turn that. Yes, I can turn that. How can I turn this face? It's completely restricted there. In fact, there's no possible point that I can do that. Even if I turn that off and I've got this face and this face, I cannot turn the upper face. Again, because of this. So all I'm really doing here is permuting pieces. So I'll take that to the top, get that, get the, was it the blue red that was in the way? I'm not sure. Perhaps that one, that back down to there, that looks better. Do the same thing here. Just to get a few pieces differently in the mix. Let's put this back down there for now and just see how we're looking. Not looking hugely scrambled, but that's kind of what I was saying. It's not possible to get it hugely scrambled. Every time you do something, something else appears to be put back in place. So this is really the point where we're just about ready to say, let's give it a solve. I suppose the only other thing that I might do is move that off. See if I can move this one off. Of course, can I turn it there? No. Can I turn it there? No, because of this big slice sitting in the way. So all these things can do is move up to this top face. I can't even really put them together. I don't think I can do that. On the same face, I can't have that one there. So I can just sort of turn them around, block a few faces here and there. Well, there you go. I just made a liar of myself. I can do it on that face, but I cannot turn the face once I've done it. So, all right, let's start solving. And the first thing I'll do is just put the pieces into their correct locations. You can see that's not. So we'll turn them up, switch them, go this way. Okay, that all looks pretty good. Now that's not actually how I'm going to solve it. I'm going to move them down to here and have essentially, I can't do the yellow face. I've got this face up here which can turn and these side faces which can also turn. So before I start solving the rest of those pieces, what I want to do is get this edge and this edge into position. So when it's there, this edge is the orange green. So I will have a look at that one first. There it is sitting there. You'll notice the orange just comes straight up to the top. Now, to place that, I'm going to turn that to the top face, bring the orange green there, turn it in, return that pair. Okay, that one's in. Same sort of thing for the orange blue, wherever that's gone, which is there. Again, the orange is coming up to the top face. And I'm going to place that in this position. And that already is looking quite a bit better. Now, I'm just going to hold it like this because I've essentially got, I can do that whenever I like, and I can turn this top face whenever I like now. And I'm going to solve a couple of edges and then concentrate over here. So really I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to go. So the first thing I'll do is get this one into position. The blue-yellow, right? No, not the blue-yellow, because this is not where it should be. So this is actually the blue-red. That is the edge that I want to put there. So what faces can I turn? I can't turn this face to bring that up and turn it around. So I have to do the only thing that I can do, turn that up, receive the piece, put it in. Again, magically, it's just going into position correctly oriented. Now, 4 pieces here plus 1 here. Let us firstly put the orange white at the back. What's this piece? Well, if it goes in, it is the blue yellow. So I need to get the blue yellow piece to go there. And once again, I'm just going to turn its position, put it onto position, undo, undo. And you'll notice that also is correctly oriented. So the whole of this side is done. That back piece is done. It just leaves the last 3 pieces. So to see what we've got here, let's turn that around into position. And I note that the green yellow and the orange yellow need to swap. The orange green is in position. Actually, the orange green is, of course, is in position. The red green is the other piece that I'm interested. That is in position. So I do have a swap of 2 edges. As with any other swap of 2 edges, I'm going to turn this face 1 turn and resolve these 2 edges at the back. It's the first one. And now place the yellow blue over here. Now, I'm either going to find my edges are solved or they will be in a simple 3 cycle. And if I put everything back, I can see, oh, look at that, the edges are solved. This is sort of what I was talking about, saying this is in some ways a little bit easier. So all the edges are solved, and I now want to move on to doing the corners. And the corners, the way that I would first try and do corners is an up, up, down, down, or in fact, 3 up, up, down, downs, just to do a couple of swaps. If that didn't work, I'd try and do an up, up, down, down, then turn the upper face, and then a reverse, and reverse that back. Well, that doesn't work here at all because I can never turn an adjacent face to this one. And what I mean is, you might say I can turn that one. Yes, okay, I can do that. But then I would need to turn the yellow face, and I certainly can't do that. So that method is out. What about an up, up, down, down? Can I use that? Well, yes, I can if I want. So if something's there and it lends itself to it, sure. Because I could turn that face and that face, or that face and that face. So maybe we have a look and see what's what. That piece is supposed to be white, blue, red. Now, I notice it's there at the moment. So the question is there any sort of turn where I can swap those 2 pieces? I'd have to turn that and I'd have to turn that. So that's not really going to work. If it was the blue and the orange face, I could actually do it by turning the blue face and the orange face, but instead of doing both of them turning downwards, I would do this one turning upwards, and it'll swap these two pieces and it'll swap these two pieces. Now, the reason I'm kind of hedging my bets here is not because it's not going to work, it's just I'm going to need to use the corner piece series soon. Sorry, no pun intended there. I'm going to need to use the corner piece series in a very little while. So maybe I'll just use it now, but I'm just demonstrating these are the options that are available. So if I did want to swap those two, get that white, blue, red back there, I would do down, up, up, down, that sort of thing, 3 times. And you'll notice that the white, blue, red has now gone into position. That was the angle we had it before. So that one is done. Perhaps I could do the same thing with this one. This is red, green, white. Well, I've got a piece here. Again, it looks like it's the same sort of thing where that red, green, white needs to go back to there. So could I do this without disturbing that one? I'd be swapping those two and I'd be swapping those two. Now this face does not turn. So this is where this is a slight issue. What about this way? Turn that, turn that. That does seem to work. The white, green, red needs to go here. So I'd swap these two and these two. Well, none of them have been done yet. So that's the only one we've done. So, hey, that's an option. Let's do that. Now, I suppose the beauty of that, doing that first, is that these two on the bottom have been dealt with. And the only corners remaining are the corners on the top. And now I can happily do a corner piece series to deal with them. So let's see what's what. That one is solved. That will leave these 3 pieces. I just need to work out the order or the direction. Yellow, green, orange goes to there. Yellow, blue, orange to there. Yellow, green, red to here. So I'll do a setup to turn it like that. And now I can carry out the corner piece series. All done. Undo the setup. Now, if I return everything to where it should be, you'll see that all corners are in their correct locations, which leaves only the twisting of the corners. Now, for the same reason that I can't do an up, up, down, down, turn the upper face and undo to cycle corners, I also can't do that to twist corners, which means I'm going to use a Sune and Sune mirror. So I would just look and see. I'd like to get this one done first because it's on the bottom if I can. So that's got to twist clockwise. I've got to come up to this face to do it. This one has to twist anti-clockwise. That's fantastic. So I'm going to do a setup of right up to right prime. That puts the pieces there and I'm ready to do this. So a Sune first of all. And then a Sune mirror. All done. You can see they've twisted nicely. Let's undo the setups. Okay, that was the one I wanted to do. It's now done. That leaves me 3 corners remaining. They've obviously all got to twist in the same direction, so I might as well just twist. Let's have a look, because I want to end with 2 together, either these 2 or these 2. So if I twist this one, that will go anti-clockwise. Yes, that will work. So I'll do these 2 first. That's now done. And then spin it around. What's this one? This one's got to go anti-clockwise. That one's got to go clockwise. Now, the thing here is I could do elaborate setups to get that one over to there, and it would be possible, but I'd probably forget the setups. So all I'm going to do is that, and I'll carry out the twisting routine 2 times. There's once, you can see they're not quite twisted yet. Do it again. And this time they do look pretty good. So I'll undo that setup And then it's a really simple matter to bring those sides back, and this expert Y cube is solved. I hope you can see why I said that I felt it was in some ways easier than the advanced and the beginner. Interesting how more restrictions makes a puzzle easier in some cases, certainly this one. Okay, well here's the puzzle for the next video. This one is called, I believe, the CABE cube. C-A-B-E, CABE cube. And very clear reason why it's called that. This puzzle has 5 clocks. That's it. Now the configuration of the clocks is if I hold it like this, there's nothing on the yellow face. On the front face, we have a front to front left clock. We have a right to right front clock. If I spin it over, you can see the other 3 clocks. I've got a down to down back, a left to left back, and a back to back up. So this is an interesting puzzle because it was not originally presented like this in the 3x3 Bandaged DIY kit form. See you in the next video.